over 200 million fans in Nigeria. And we're deducting the numbers that are in Morocco right now, especially when we have our correspondent Udoka Njoku joining the numbers in Morocco. Udoka, join us at this moment to bring us updates all the way from Fez, Morocco, the Super Eagles camp. Thank you, Udoka, for joining us on the show.
Thank you very much, Paige, for having me. Always a pleasure. Great to see you, Bitayo.
Hey.
I'm not going to put any bullets at you today, but it's fine.
Udoka, wait, let's give you your own bullets. But let me bring in an editor that has been patient online, waiting to have this conversation. We have editor of Sporting Tale. We've got Eniton Obadino joining us. Thank you so much, Eniton, for joining us on the conversation.
It was a pleasure to be on the show. Thank you for having me.
Great to have you both on the show. Udoka, who's going to bring us updates all the way from Fez before we test the polls of Eniton and Ibitayo, judging by what Udoka is going to bring to us. Udoka, let's get the updates. Keep us up to speed. Both teams, Tunisia and Nigeria, won their opening matches, and they are within the reach for qualification. Now, from the atmosphere in Fez, I know you already have your head warmer on. You have that sweatsuit on, the jacket on. How intense is the build-up around this fixture? What are fans expecting? Have you been able to test the polls of fans who know what Tunisia can bring to the table ahead of this encounter? What is the polls? Keep us up to speed. Walk me through it.
So thank you very much. So yesterday we went out luckily we went to the Tunisia's training first, and we interviewed one of the players. And look, the Tunisians are very, very confident going into this game against Nigeria, because during their training we could tell the intensity of how they were going about it. And truly on paper, Tunisia are better. They're the better team compared to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And when it comes to the rivalry,
do we beg to differ in the studio? Anytime, do we beg to differ? Because I'm not going to take that statement lightly. I don't know what paper. Anytime, what are you saying?
I don't know where you got that from.
He saw it in
paper, arguably, you say it's the Eagles that are better team in terms of staff quality in the players. Tunisia, mostly one of the highest players should be Anibal Mehri, plays for Burnley. That does not count for players who play for better clubs, bigger competitions, but performance-wise, I can agree with Udoka on that.
Okay, Udoka, continue with your updates, because the updates you're getting from Fez and the paper you're seeing in Fez is covered with snow. But let's hear more.
Of course, as Nigerian fans, I know we like to be very, very hopeful and sentimental towards our own. But let's be honest, watching the Super Eagles play their first game against Tanzania, yes, both of them won, but one side was more convincing than the other, and that was Tunisia. They beat their opponents. Silly, that game ended 3-1. There was no questions being asked about strategy, the strength, their chance to qualify for the next stage.
Okay.
But between Nigeria and Tanzania, the fans were not so excited because it wasn't a convincing win for Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Okay,
but a lot of fans gave Nigeria the benefit of doubt, saying they usually start tournament slowly. The last tournament, they had a 1-0 draw against their opponents, and they went all the way to the final. That's the excuse we give ourselves. But our books will be judged today if we don't get a result. I can't even believe that we are begging for a draw against Tunisia.
All right, Udoka, you were at the press conference, the pre-match press conference, and Eric Shaw and Ndidi had said a few things heading up to this encounter. Now, something Nigeria last achieved in 2021, a back-to-back group win. That is what we last achieved since 2021. Now, from that pre-match press conference you attended, how ambitious is Nigeria? I'm talking about the team right now, Nigeria, in finishing the group early. Get it done and dusted in the second group game.
Well, for Wilfred Ndidi, was very optimistic, looking forward to this one. He said that he and his boys will go into this one knowing that they are going all out for that 3 points. They want to get a victory against Tunisia. The same thing applies to the coach, who was saying that he has learned his lessons in that game against.
Okay.
What kind of lineup you put out there?
Okay,
for the Super Eagles of
I think we're having network challenge right there, but we need to wrap up this conversation. Thank you so much, and please stay safe and warm in Fez. And make sure you pick only papers that say the right things in Fez. Thank you so much. Have a lovely one as you cover the game. Anytime, let's bring into this conversation head-to-head review here from Nigeria. Tunisia is looking a bit dicey, but you know for sure Nigeria has always had their own over Tunisia. But Tunisia are looking like a revamped team that we saw from the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Anytime, how do you think this game will pan out? What do you think Nigeria should do? Where do you think we should nip in the board? How do you think we'll win this one against a team that went without a draw or a loss in their campaign for the 2026 World Cup qualifiers?
Tough one, if you ask me. Overall, Nigeria, Tunisia, one of the storied rivalries that we don't get to talk about. We are mostly stuck on having Cameroon, Ghana being our biggest rival. But right up there in the top 5 for rivalries in African football and for Nigeria as a country, you have to put Nigeria, Tunisia somewhere in there. They've played 21 times, with both sides winning 6 times each. And other games, about 9 games going into draw. Out of the number of games that went into a draw, some went into penalties at some crucial stages of some of the competitions or events they took part in. And of course, this game has also witnessed both countries working out on each other. Well, Tunisia worked out on Nigeria in 78 earlier. Nigeria had worked out on them in 1961. So it has everything you can imagine. And last time we met at an AFCON was in Cameroon. Yeah, Cameroon in 2021. A few of their players were out because at the height of the COVID issue. And Nigeria had a perfect group stage performance, winning 3 back-to-back games until that shot and that red card to Iwobi happened, and it was bye-bye to that perfect group stage performance we had. So that sets the stone for what we get today. But one thing you can get assured on is the fact that when Udoka said Nigeria was begging for a job, naturally Nigeria always comes out well of the group stages at AFCON. We have the top 3 best results when it comes to getting out of the group stages at AFCON. So that has almost been a given, and the percentages are in the 90th percentile. So that tells you everything, that we managed to scrap out results in tough games. The Tunisians, what do you expect? Tough game. They play as a squad. They play as a team. They are not too much star enabled like Nigeria. We have an Lukman or an Osimhen trying to drive this year. So you can guarantee that it's our ability to break down them as a team, not as individual players. Sometimes at the end of the day, when you're playing the top team, is the star power. It's a really tough cracker, a storied rivalry between 2 nations over the years at AFCON. The only time Tunisia won the AFCON, they met Nigeria in the semi-final in 2004, where the current coach Trabelsi was still playing. Then the game, I think, went into penalties where they won, and of course they defeated Morocco in the final, made their only single. So it's a tough game. It's Nigeria is just growing. We are still trying to get it right. All right. If the coaches are playing players out of position, so I expect a lot in this game. All
right. Quickly, before I let you go, quickly, please. I need to know what starting lineup you expect from Coach Eric Shaw. What changes should he make? That's if he should make any changes. I want you to do that in a few seconds, please.
I am not, except for the right fullback, because I consider Bright Osayi right winger playing fullback. Basically, I'm not expecting so many changes. I expect him to stick with the formation against Tanzania, but the player bringing more energy.
Okay, thank you for making that quick and short. We appreciate your time on our AFCON Express and in the game. Thank you so much, Editor. We have speaking to an editor of Sporting Tel, Eniton Obadino. I love his analysis. Ibitayo, at this time, this is what it's looking like. The die is cast already. We have to face this team. We have to make it a back-to-back win. A lot on the shoulder of Eric Shaw. Well, what do you want to see on the starting lineup? That's what I'll start off with.
I think, of course, same starting lineup. That's what I expect.
Maintain the same?
That's what I would like to see. And make no mistake, because of the profile of the opposition they are facing, the Tunisians are facing, and Nigeria is facing, the football will be completely different. No 2 games are the same. There's a reason why that's always said. I mean, I expect both the play, I mean, it's more open freestyle. They play as a team, as a unit. Nigeria likes to play teams like that, and it's a big opposition.
Tell us your prediction, quickly.
I'm leaning towards a win.
A win?
I know.
No scoreline?
Same scoreline as the first.
2-1?
2-1.
We're going to concede.
We will. We
All
almost
right.
always concede.
Okay. Okay. All right. This is where we wrap it up on the show. Been an interesting conversation on African Express in the game on News Central TV. I've been speaking with Ibitayo Daramola. We had Udoka Njoko, our correspondent, live in Thurs. Join us for updates. Editor Badino, editor with Sporting Tel, and sport journalist with the Zambian Broadcasting Cooperation. We've got Modern Sikala bring us updates here on In the Game. I am Onyinyechi Obaro, and we'll be having another bit of this, of course, to get a reaction after the game between Nigeria and Tunisia. So keep a date with us, 11 a.m. West African time on News Central TV. I'm going to be leaving you with what you missed on socials to wrap up the day. Have a lovely one.